document in the chat as well that you will need for the next part as well, because there is a little bit of a practical element to this as well. Cool. And I'll just load this up, guys. Give me a second. Second. Wait 1 minute, guys, and I will get this sorted. Beautiful. All right, cool. Just let these guys in. All right, team. So, I love it. Takeaway: enjoy the process and the roller coaster. Believe in yourself. Planning help to stay consistent. Yeah, Jesse, the cult leader. Self-belief and product of the product for sure. Sweet, guys. So this next part of our presentation is a little bit of a, I guess, passion project for me. So that document, guys, I hope you've got that there because you will need it in terms of this. But one thing that I've become very, very, I guess, fond of, maybe something that I've become probably a little bit fucking obsessed about, is branding and how to get people to stand out so that they can attract the people they want and basically build a brand that is everlasting. Sorry if this instant connection is bad, but yeah, Rusty, just go up a little bit, bro, and you should be able to find that in the chat there.
I sent it to you, Rusty.
Yeah, sweet. I just dropped it in the chat once again. But cool, guys. So this here, guys, is something that I've become really, really proud of. And as you can see from what Jesse did, he's built a brand where it's been unconsciously doing it, or he's put intentional effort into it. And so something I've sort of started to understand, I guess, in the last 6 months especially. And so, you know, I've been doing this business coaching thing for about 2 years. It was nothing I ever intended to do, and I didn't actually think it was something I would ever do either. And what I've actually found is I just fucking love it. I love marketing. I love systems. I love branding, and I love basically everything about, you know, being able to get people in front of more people. And so, as of late, I've come to understand that, you know, messaging is extremely important, and especially in the fitness industry, because online fitness is starting to mature. And what I mean by that is that it's been around probably for about, I've been doing online coaching for about 7 years, but since the pandemic and that sort of thing, it's really started to take off, and there's more and more online coaches everywhere now. Like, everybody knows that online coaching is a thing. And so there's more and more out there. People understand that online coaching is a viable solution to what they're doing, but they're just not sure about who they want to be with, or what is actually going to work for them, because there's also been a lot of crap over the last few years. And so the reason why this sort of stuff is so important, and you can see it from all of our Mamba students that are very, very fucking like doing very well, is they're a product of their product, and their brand means something. Okay. And so what we're going to talk about today is day one of the brand map. Okay. And so what is a brand? Okay. It's what people feel. Okay, a brand is what people feel when they look at your product, or look at your content, look at your social media, all of that stuff. They look at it and it gives them a feeling. It even makes them think, fuck, that is exactly what I've been missing in my life, or fuck, that is exactly what I need to avoid in my life. Okay, and that's a great thing to have, because ultimately, you know, there's 12.5 million people in Australia alone on Instagram. If you get 0.0001% of those, you have 125 clients. 0.0001%. That's all you need to people to say is, hey, I really vibe with this person. I fucking love what they do. Okay. And so that's all you have to do. And if you get 125 people to think, hey, I love the feeling of this, I love what this is about, then you've done your job really, really well. And your life probably changes forever. A brand is also, it's how you stand out, but also where you stand out. And I'll get into this a bit more later on in the week about positioning, about where you position your business. Are you purely for beginners, or are you for the best of the best and elite people? Okay, so this is really, really important because we have to know who we're speaking to and how to speak to them to make sure that they get an emotional feeling that makes them think, hey, this is what I've been missing in my life. Okay. It's also a bit of a guiding compass for your business. Okay. And so when you're intentional with this, and when you're intentional with managing the meaning of your business, you can be like, am I on brand? Okay. Am I on brand, or am I promoting something that doesn't align with my ultimate mission and ultimate goals? And so, I asked you guys yesterday, what's your 25-year goals? What's your 12-month goals? If your brand and vision doesn't align with that, you're going to end up somewhere where you don't want to end up. So it's a really, really good compass to build something that you're really, really proud of. So basically we have 4 brand components. Okay. And so what are our brand components? And great branding is about managing the meaning of what your business is all about. So if you manage the meaning of the core 4, you can win the hearts and minds of your customers. Okay. And I really love this stuff. Like there's always tactics, there's always strategies, but if you really master this stuff, you guys will dominate every single aspect of the fitness industry forever, which is very cool. So the 4 components are why your business exists and what it means. Okay. Your story. So your story has way more power than you could ever imagine. And Jesse sort of touched on this today. He's like, look, I had great content. I thought it was cool. I was just doing bullshit. But once I added my story, that's when it really started to take off. Story is probably one of the most powerful things you can ever do. It's also the only thing that's unique to you. Okay. People like, how do I stand out? It's like, when was the last time you told a personal story? You probably haven't in a long, long time. That's why you don't stand out, because you're just basically posting stuff that everybody else in the fitness industry posts, because that's what your friends do. Okay. So the sooner you can learn to tell your story, what makes you unique, what challenges you've been through, what you've overcome, the more you're going to stand out. And that's something we want to teach you. Also, your positioning. Where do you want to sit? And so I've had a lot of our member students come to us recently, and they're like, hey, look, I'm just attracting people who don't comply with my program. They don't do check-ins, and then they come and whinge to me because they're not getting a result. And it was like, we go and look at their content, and everything about their positioning, their language, their messaging is actually speaking to people who don't actually want to do anything. So the way you position yourself and your brand can be very important depending on who you want to target. Okay. And so if you're getting frustrated because you're not attracting, people who want to be a WBFF champion, it's probably because your positioning is out, or you're not managing that. Okay. Then we also have our language, and this will tie into all of it. And there might be some point this week too, if Mitch is available, I might actually lean on him because he goes into this sort of language stuff a lot. But language is very, very important. We're going to go into tomorrow's call. We're going to go into archetypes and speaking to different people about their core values, their desires, their drives. If you understand this stuff, you can choose language, words, basically the way you position yourself as well, and speak directly to the person you want to attract. And it's very, very powerful and very, very important. But today, guys, we're going to start with part 1, which is uncovering your why. In the chat, if you don't have this document, please let me know. It's not this document here, but the Google document I said, and I'll make sure you guys get it. But have this open because you'll be able to go through this in real time. So part 1, understanding your why. Okay. And it was really cool because I had to think about the brands that I've created. I probably could have gone deep into this, but I want you to have a look at these 2 photos. So where people often get this wrong is they believe a brand is their logo. Okay. And so this was from my first gym, which was an all-female strength gym. Okay. My very first logo was this one here. It was a big Jack gorilla doing like deadlifting about 500 kilos in an all-female gym that lifts weights. Okay. Does that brand represent, women who want to get strong? 100% not. 100% not. And I was like, no wonder I'm not attracting women that, you know, want to do this. And at the time when we opened this gym, women were still afraid of getting bulky, all of that sort of thing. So it was a bit of an uphill battle. This was the brand we eventually leaned on. But here's the thing, when we created this brand here, this girl here, a handful of our other girls, they're like, I actually want the original logo. I want the original thing because it's a bit more like staunch. It's a bit more like, hey, I'm here to lift shit. I'm not some pretty sassy girl that, you know, is scared of getting their hands dirty. So what I want you guys to understand is that these pictures will tell more about my brand than that logo ever will. Okay. That is one of the biggest things. These pictures show 100,000 times more words than my logo ever will. So take, for example, here, we got one of our girls. She had only done sort of CrossFit style training before. She ended up getting into a powerlifting competition and just fell in love with lifting heavy weights. Okay. She done her first strong woman comp. And she just basically embodied our brand of women who want to get strong, you know, aren't too scared to work hard. And that became essentially the picture of our brand. This lady here was a semi-professional basketball player. She basically was the picture of what our athletes look like. We ended up attracting a lot of athletes because of this girl here. And so unconsciously, or I'm not even sure of the right word, but without even knowing it, these sort of pictures and this sort of messaging allowed us to attract more people to our gym that were like that. Okay. We ended up attracting a heap of female athletes. You know, we worked with a lot of AFLW players, rugby players, all sorts of things. We also got chicks that would never ever lift weights, felt comfortable to come and lift weights. And so when you look at our brands, I didn't know that's what I was creating, but that's what we created. So I just want to sort of highlight that fact that the logo is not your brand. It's the images, it's the pictures, it's what you show, and people will make up their own mind. Let's say, for example, if we take Jesse, okay? If Jesse was and speaking to like, hey guys, I love to help vegan bodybuilders get jacked. And here he is, a vegan female bodybuilders get jacked. Cool. But here he is, no shirt on. He's a dude and he eats only meat. It's just completely incongruent. But then if he was like one of our other members and Mamba Shana she's a vegan bodybuilder and female, and she's like, hey, I help guys get jacked, eat meat, and, you know, feel good about themselves. It just doesn't line up because people don't see it. Okay. So people will see or believe what they see. And this was something that completely changed my life forever, because once I actually seen this, I couldn't unsee it. Okay. And probably one last concept, and this is where I really started to understand the power of branding, is that all people want to know when they look at your content is, do people like me do things like this? Okay. If you're a chick who wants to lift weights but doesn't want to get bulky, still wants to look fit, strong, and healthy, but wants to be a fucking boss, if you've seen a girl like this, would you think, hey, that's potentially the place I could do it? If you're an athlete and you want to be really, really fit, you want to learn how to lift weights, and you see a picture like this, would you think potentially that's a place I can do this? Okay. People want to know, do people like me do things like this to get the result that I want? Okay. That is what branding is. And that is why if you get really, really good at this shit, you'll attract the exact client you want every single time. So here we go. What do you stand for? Today, 89% of customers are loyal to brands that share their values, and that only means one thing. It's no longer enough to have the highest quality product or the cheapest price. Jesse charges a premium. Most of our member guys charge a premium because people buy into their values, what they stand for. They're happy to pay more than a $10 app because of what they stand for. If you want to stand out and rise above the noise, you need to get crystal clear on who you are, and this is really who you are, and what you stand for. So what we need to get clear on today is we're going to get clear on our values. What are our non-negotiables, our guiding compass? What do you do or do not? Okay, that's what we're going to get clear on. We also want to get clear on our beliefs. What really matters to you, your customers, and your community, because what you stand for is really important. Also, what you stand against is really important. And you'll probably see a lot of, you know, the people that you guys follow, you know, quite often they're polarizing in some regards, you know. So having your beliefs really entrenched is really important. And then also we're going to go into what we call brand coding, is why your value matter and how it shows up at all levels of your business, from your products, your coaching, all the way to your customers, and also what you share from a community aspect. So what we'll do, guys, is I'm just going to bring up the next parts, and then we're going to go over these questions, and we're just going to take some time to go through it together. But I also want you guys to ask any questions around it, because this is a bit more of a practical application, but we'll talk through it as we go. So in our first part, guys, we have our 6 questions that we're going to go through, okay? And so this is essentially uncovering why your brand matters. So on the document, you'll see part 1 here. And just so you guys don't go and mess up my document, go File, make a copy, okay? So make a copy so that you can keep this forever as well. So part 2, the big why. We first need to get crystal clear on what you stand for and why you exist. What we want you guys to do is answer these 6 questions to uncover why your brand matters. Question 1. Why do you believe what you do is important? What beliefs do you have that makes this something the world needs? Okay. That's a big question. And sometimes, guys, this is going to bring up that imposter syndrome. You're going to think, hey, shit, the world doesn't need this. I'm not world class, all of this sort of stuff. I want you guys to change that limiting belief and be, I'm the fucking best in the world at what I do. Cool. If I'm not right now, I'm going to spend the next 12 months doing it. Okay. So why do you believe what you do is important? You could see from what Jesse was saying in our interview, he 100% believes he's doing important work. He's very, very clear on why his brand exists. What beliefs do you have that makes this something that the world needs? Okay. And so some writing prompts for this, guys. What do you spend a lot of time thinking, worrying, or talking about? You know, what do you go to sleep at night thinking, you know, I wish people just knew this. I wish I could help someone with this. Or, you know, my client yesterday, I just wish that she would understand this, you know, so that she could improve her life. I know for me, I just deeply fucking care about, you know, people having access to great information that can change their life. And so it's something that has at times kept me up at night, and sometimes I think I care a little bit too much, but it's very, very important to me. Also too, what do you wish more people knew or did something about? Okay, what do you wish people would actually do something about? In Jesse's case, it could be, I wish more people would stop smoking fucking bongs, get off their ass and go lift some weights. You know, it's super simple. What do you wish people realized or discovered sooner? Okay, and so I've got a couple examples here, is like Mumba. Some of the things that about Mumba is like the days of strong marketing and shitty products and services done. You know, if good coaches have access to world-class mentoring, marketing systems, plus the community support of people who constantly push the limits of our program, so that it forces me to constantly improve, and more good coaches will be able to reach the people that deserve quality services that actually help them, you know. And this is where I think now you're sort of seeing a shift. You know, probably 5 years ago, the only people that were online were sort of, you know, influencers sort of doing like booty band workouts in their you know, in their lounge. But now good coaches are starting to shine through, and quality service and quality programs based on generally what they do themselves is what's shining through. And that's my mission, is to help people understand that, look, the only difference between them and a fucking incredible life is this marketing skill. Also, the other thing that like keeps me up at night is I never want to see a good coach go out of business. I've seen too many of my friends like struggle, and I'm like, why do you guys struggle? You know, like when I've basically been exactly the same place as them, same courses, all of this sort of stuff, how come I've been able to move forward and you know, something's caught them up, and it breaks my fucking heart sometimes. And so my big thing that I worry about a lot is like, I never want to see a good coach go out of business, feel burnt out, or lose passion for the industry, because this is an industry that, you know, is full of amazing people that genuinely want to change people's lives, whether it's how they feel about themselves, their health, or just basically their entire well-being, you know. If only they knew that good mentoring and coaching was the gateway to limitless possibilities in a business that they are proud as fuck of. So, and in terms of that, guys, like this stuff here, you'll build out and change over time. I just want you guys to now start to write down some of these questions. This question number 1, what do you believe what you do is important? What beliefs do you have that makes this is something that the world needs? Okay. And anyone that has any questions, you can either privately DM me or you can take yourself off mute and I can help you guys with this as well. Give you guys about a few minutes just to go through that prompt. Yeah. Cool. And I'll roll into question number 2, guys. Question number 2. If you could pick an incident, event, or defining moment that established this belief, what would it be? Why do you believe these things? Okay. What is a challenge, opportunity, or lesson from your past that made this belief so important to you? Can you think of a specific story? What happened? Where were you? Okay. This is where we start to unpack why this stuff is important to you. What sort of stories have got you to this point where you believe this is what the world needs? So for me, the struggles I had growing my own business, being able to design my life with confidence, I could use my business as a vessel to make anything possible in life. The circumstances was last year, I was in a cafe in Columbus, Ohio. I went to the Arnold's. My bank cards got cancelled and I had no internet on my phone because I was stupid enough not to realize, because I'd fucking never been overseas before, that you had to tell the bank these things or they cancel your cards. So basically, I had no money, I had no internet. I was in a city in town I'd never known before, but I was sitting in a cafe with my boy, and it was the first time I was realized I had no worries in my life. I had all the money I could ever fucking dream of. I was in America. I was with my son who was living in a different country at the time, and I could just afford to put as much money as I want just to go and see him. And that 5 minutes where I was reading a newspaper for the first time in years because I had no internet was fucking amazing. And I was just like, I just want people to be able to experience this and I want to give it to them. Share fitness as well. So when I realized like this stuff was important to me was when I first launched my online business. Like I'd been running Share Fitness for about 3 or so years at that time, which was my first online business. It was making some traction. I had about 4 or 5, 6 clients, something like that. And then I learned copywriting and I put up this copywriting post and I had people reaching out to me and being like, bro, that just fucking hit me right in the heart. And from that moment on, I was like, holy shit. Like it was all this time I was like, this marketing stuff, I don't know if it works. And then all of a sudden, like it was just overflowing. It was absolutely incredible. So I just want you guys to quickly think about, why has this stuff become such a big belief for you? What are those stories? What are those moments that establish this belief? Cool. How's everyone going with that? Just give me a thumbs up or, yep, all good. Cool. Um, awesome. So question number 3, guys. How does this belief play out in your business right now, if at all? How does this belief inspire your business? How does it show up in your coaching, programs, and communication through your marketing and with your clients? How does it guide your decision making? So and this is something you may have to think about because you're probably already doing it. You just don't know. Like you just unconsciously aware that what you're actually doing is guiding all of your business. All of your beliefs is guiding what you guys do. So it may be potentially that, hey, look, you did your first bodybuilding competition, and that like understanding of what discipline could do for you in terms of that reward system of feeling like, hey, if I'm super, super disciplined, the amazing results and, transformation that I can get is fucking life changing. And I just want to share that with people. So how does this belief play out in your business? Are you being that guide and that mentor to people because of the stuff that you've gone through? Think about that. Cool. And I guess in terms of what Mamba is like, everybody has a story. It either drives them forward or holds them back. And sort of funny because Jesse sort of said that on the interview before, of like those limiting beliefs. And so Mamba teaches students how to harness this and treats every coach as the boss they are while giving them unique solutions that allows them to stand out and change the game. So that's, those beliefs of me just wanting to give this to people that's how I coach people. It's like I've been through my own limiting beliefs. I've been through all of these challenges, and I'm just going to coach people exactly the same way. So how do you guys coach people? How does it show up in your programs? Maybe you're a CrossFitter your whole life and you're like, fuck, CrossFit's the worst thing you could ever do. So now you're just going to do running for the rest of your life because that's what you believe, stuff like that. It's what do you truly, truly believe? Cool. And how does that show everything you do in your business? And sometimes guys, like with this stuff, just pen to paper, try not to overthink it too much because it is something you'll come back and refine quite a lot, especially throughout this week. We sort of touch on it here and there as well. Then our follow on question to that, guys. Where do you see this belief lacking in the world or the fitness industry? What makes you angry when you see it? What do you feel is the biggest myth, lie, misconception in the fitness industry? And what do others do that you don't agree with? Okay. So this is where we start to define our enemy. Okay. What do you stand against? What do you believe is lacking in the world or the fitness industry? Jesse, bro, I reckon you could almost rattle this off the top of your head.
Soy boys.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and can you tell me, like, explain, bro, like what that actually means? Like, why is that something you believe is lacking in the world?
Yeah, cool. So, because I defined what soy means the other day, right? Because my vegetarian, vegan friends don't get too upset with me. That it was situations override your beliefs. So it's just like I don't want to see weak men who just cave into, going to go eat a heap of bunch of shit or go play Xbox or go smoke a heap of weed and do nothing. It's like that's the change I want to be. That's my enemy. That's who I don't want to be because I've been that person. And now we got to push forward.
Yeah. Beautiful. So that's the belief he wants to see in the world. Okay. Cool. So that's what it is. So that's then it's like, how do you believe this belief can impact people's life? What do you believe in your heart that your audience is craving? What solution are they seeking? And how do you or how can you help them? So this belief that you have about what the world needs, what do you believe that people are craving? What do they actually want? If you were to break down deep into, their psychology, what do you feel like they need? And this is something that's very, very powerful, guys. If you were to put up a post, this is the stuff that people will reach out to you for. This is the reason why people will send you a DM and be like, bro, that post just spoke directly to me. Okay. So this is the stuff that is very, very powerful and will get people to reach out. So spend some time on this specific question. What do you believe in your heart that your audience is craving? What solutions are they seeking? And how do and can you help them? Okay. Very, very important. I said this the other day. The hardest thing to do in life is define the meaning of your life. The second hardest thing is to define exactly what you do in your fitness business. Okay. And so this question here, like exactly what you do, how can you help them? And, you might start surface level of like, hey, I help them lose weight, but, maybe it's like, hey, when you actually help their wife be fucking impressed by them again, you help them help their wife say, hey, that's my fucking husband. So deep down, think like really, really deep on this. And this is where people talk about avatar and niches and psychographics and stuff like that. This is the stuff that they're really talking about. Okay, cool. So spend a bit of time on that one, guys. I'm just going to give you guys a bit of time to sort of sit and simmer on that because it's very, very important. Pat, I might ask you, mate, what have you sort of got here just in terms of that number 5 question? What do you believe in your heart your audience is craving? Pat.
Sorry, was that me?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
You said Matt, sorry. Sorry, can you repeat the question?
So what do you believe, or how do you believe your beliefs and what the fitness industry needs or what the world needs? What do you believe in your heart that your audience is craving and what solution are they seeking and how can you help them? Did I cut out there? Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. So this question here, how do you believe your belief? How do you believe that can impact people's life? And what do you believe that your audience is craving and what solution can you serve and how can you help them?
I guess for me, it's more around sort of being able to give the tools and also being able to individualize, understand what they're trying to achieve and make a difference in their lives. So I guess that is sort of my belief is, going through, say, my competition prep it taught me to learn discipline and obviously consistency. So I guess it's around sort of being able to apply that and teach my clients those sort of methods that I've learned.
Yep. Yeah, that's beautiful. And with why do you feel like your audience or your clients actually need or crave this? What would that give them in their life if they were to get it? At the other end of consistency and discipline, what is the
cutting
thing?
out again.
Oh, sorry. At the other end of like consistency and discipline, what are they actually getting?
I guess they're getting quality service. They're getting someone who's actually gone through the trenches, and I've gone through the trenches with them, which makes it a lot more personable, where I'm able to apply and get them the best results. So pretty much practicing what I preach.
Yeah, so they know that their coach is product of the product. They don't want no BS. They don't want no fluff. They just want someone who's actually been there and done it so that they basically guarantee the results that they're chasing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fucking sick. Cool. Ben, what about you, bro? What do you feel like your audience is craving?
Yo, thank you. Yeah, I was writing down this morning. It was great fun. So definitely the ability to lead by example, as in what is sort of a person that's able to live healthy, move freely in their body. So I can give the ability to show them purpose of what is actually worthwhile to gain freedom in their movement. And we focused on an idea of like martial intent in all movement, coming from the martial arts background. So yeah, letting them bringing purpose and their understanding of their why, so that they can now move better as a human, so that they're now able to protect their family and rekindle space to have the ability to play with their kids.
That's amazing, bro.
So
yeah. So it's making you it's almost speaking to one of my goals, which is to be an athletic beast at 80, you know, giving me the freedom to play with my grandkids, which is pretty incredible. No, that's awesome. And question number 6 is like, how will this belief shape your community, coaching, customers, the whole entire thing? Like, what will happen when this belief is embodied at all levels of your brand, your programs, and your company? So say, for example, just taking Kat, you know, like what sort of clients does her business spit out the other end? They probably come out super fucking confident, super confident in themselves, knowing that, hey, they now have the tools, the skills, the discipline to do whatever they want in their life, even if it's outside of like bodybuilding and stuff like that. It's almost like this little factory of like confidence making, you know? And so this is the sort of stuff is like, what sort of impact do you want to make on your business, customers, and community? And how do you want people to feel when they hear your brand and name? So if we were to say, like when they heard Kat's business name, they're like, I know if I'm working with Kat, she's behind me 100%. I'm going to get the best results of my life, but I'm also going to have results that, you know, serve me for a lifetime. You know, what sort of feelings do you want people to feel when they look at your brand? Okay. When they see your brand, what are they going to feel? Cool. Ben.
yeah, more than happy to share. I feel like this is something that I'm truly excited about. Is that so we've got the business like Wild Potential, right? And in that there's a potential that lies within all people, all men, and we have the innate ability to rekindle that power. Once that standard is then set, everyone underneath this same bracket, the environment, the community, will be able to embody these values of wild potential. That's what the programs are designed for, to bring those facets of your whole life back to allowing you to perform better as an adult, and then passing that on to the next generation. So yeah, really keen to sort of create that environment so that then trickles down into the generations. And yeah,
that's pretty crazy, bro. Hey, just from one question, how like that like could literally change the world. So it's almost like at this point, like when people, you know, feel and hear your brand, it's like they understand that whoever's associated with that community is lifting everyone around them. It's very, very, very powerful. It's very, very good. Sweet, guys. So
I like the idea of it setting a standard.
100%. Well, it's making it like the new standard is the new, like that is the lowest standard. You know, I actually, we both know her, a lady named Belle Dawes. She came to me and we're doing some mindset coaching with her, and she had her best game of her career, and this was about round something 6 or something. And we said, I was like, this is the worst game you've ever played. You know, that was her new standard. And every single game she raised and raised and raised ever since. And so ultimately it's like, it's creating a new standard, and the standard like consistently elevates because the old standard wasn't good enough, you know? So it's incredible, making your best, just the everyday standard, you know, which is crazy. Sweet. So next, guys, we actually want to start to define our power values. Okay. And so this is what our brand is all about. And so essentially this is like, what are your non-negotiables? Your non-negotiables are the core brand values that represent what you stand for. They are guiding principles that will shape everything you do as a brand, from hiring to customer service to content creation. It's, it could be who's on your team, who are your clients, how does it show up in your social media? Based on your responses in this, we'll come up for part 2 of this. So what I want you guys to think about, and you can also put into Google, ChatGPT, is like, what is a non-negotiable in your business? Jesse, I know this is something that you probably got a handful, bro. So what would be a value that would be a non-negotiable for people inside of your community, or how you show up? I'm guessing my internet's cutting out.
All right,
Jesse.
bro. So
Yeah.
you definitely cut out for me there, but I may have I think I might have heard what you said. So a non-negotiable for me is movement every day, and that's one thing I make for my clients as well. It's just 30 minutes of movement. I don't care if it's gardening, I don't care if it's walking, I don't care if it's a max out gym session. It's like one of those things that are non-negotiable for me and my clients. And then another non-negotiable I give them is like, do something around the house every day, even if it's something small, because everyone that lives with you will appreciate that, and including yourself, because you don't want to be in a pigsty.
Yep. So be useful, something like that.
Yeah. Be useful is one of the things that go through my head all the time. Of like, I don't care what the situation is, just be useful in some way.
Yep. Would discipline be another one? That's a core value.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah. Yeah, love that one.
Cool. I'm just picking on the same guys because I can see you on my screen, but let's go Rusty, bro. What would be one of your core values that would say, embodies purpose?
Yeah, I think we sort of had chat about this before, but I always want to bring energy and effort to every endeavor. So you can take those top 3, whether it's movement, whether it's around the house, whether it's, I don't know, a business meeting, like being useful. You want to bring energy and effort to everything that we do.
Yep. Beautiful, bro. I love that. Yep. Ethan, man, what's one of your core values that you want to show up in your business?
Having intent and purpose behind everything that we're doing, like a clear reason for what you're doing and the path that your action is a part of, like knowing what that path is.
If you were to simmer that down into one word.
Purpose.
Okay, beautiful. Yep. I love it. Tia, what about you? What would be one of your values that you want to see embodied in your business?
I have so many, but authenticity is probably the first one.
I love it. Yep. Yep. What else? What would be another one?
I've got integrity, education, inclusivity, support, honesty, and community.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, beautiful. Yeah. And honesty was the last one?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Cool. So when we look at this, guys, is like, when these are the values that will represent your brand. Okay. So what I want you now to do is I want you to pick the top 5. Okay. So pick the top 5 of your non-negotiables and turn them into your power values. Okay. So pick your top 5. And these will be the values that will represent your tribe and embody what your brand is all about. What does it stand for? What values, if someone was to look at your business, they were to get one of your products, they were to see your social media, what values would be represented by what you do? I really like some of Tia's ones there, like that authenticity is something I really try to get across as one of my values. Discipline is a big one as well. Effort is fucking huge, because I think like you don't have to be talented as long as you got effort, Another one for me is like passion and obsession, relentlessness as well. I'm basically just reciting Kobe Bryant's the pillars of his Mamba mentality. But but it really does resonate with me because it gets you a long, long way. Cool. So pick your 5, guys. And then we got the fun part, guys, which is coming back to our last part, which is our brand coding. Okay. And so once you have your 5 values, all we want you to do is write down here. So let's go authenticity. Cool. So as a coach or a coaching business, I believe authenticity is extremely important because of this. My clients, athletes, customer believe authenticity is important because of, okay? So that's what we want you guys now to do is write down your power values and then write down why you believe it's important as a coach, why your clients think it's important, and why as a community it's important on a big grand scale, okay? So writing down each of those power values, how they relate to at the business level and your programs, your products, or as a coach, and then why your clients believe it's important, and then as your community, the wider community as a whole, why is that important as well? Easy, bro. Cool. So I just want you guys to run through each of them for your 5 core values and then write these down. And so throughout the week too, guys, we're going to be working on a slightly different topic each day. And at the end of this will all come together very, very nicely in how we package up this brand you guys are building.
Hey, bro, could you just go over the clients and athletes, customers belief section for me again? How are you answering that bit?
Hold on, bro, I can't see you. Where are you? Yeah, so basically, bro, what you're going to do is take that power value, and then as a coach or your coaching business, you believe that discipline is important because XYZ. So why is that power value important to you as a business owner, as a coach? Cool. Let's say, for example, we take Tia. Like, as a coach, I believe authenticity is important because it allows people to, see me for the real me and be real themselves. Tia, why isn't authenticity important to you as a coach or as part of your business?
You pretty much nailed it, to be honest. It's just
Yeah.
basically about, if you're being authentic and people are seeing that, it allows them to feel seen themselves.
Yeah, and why would your clients respect or love this as part of what your business? Why do they believe it's important?
I think we just live in a social media world where not a lot is authentic, and just creates a really false standard, puts a lot of pressure on people. And yes, people seeing that allows them to be like, okay, I'm all right as I am.
I love that. Yeah, that's awesome. Yep. And like as a community as a whole, like what you're representing through your social media and the broader world, why do you believe that authenticity is going to have an impact on the world, or how do you believe that will impact the world?
Oh, I think there's way too many impacts to go over, but I guess that the most important one is just, allowing people to feel comfortable and confident and happy within themselves again.
That's beautiful. Yeah, 100%. And so that's like, imagine if now every time you look at your content or you go through your content now and you just ask yourself, is this what I'm representing? Is that power value? Can people see that when I post? And because if people see it, they're going to feel it. And if they feel it, they're like, holy shit, that's the coach I've been looking for. I've been missing someone that is going to allow me to be myself and grow into who I want to be without all this fucking bullshit, social media pressure and all of that sort of stuff. So that's why the stuff here can be extremely powerful in terms of getting your messaging across. Maybe Jesse, man, we might just go with your one. So let's say discipline. I'm sure that'll be near the top of your power values. Why do you believe that's important as a coach or as part of your coaching business?
Because discipline's giving me everything, body, business, mind, and I want that for my clients.
Yep. Perfect. And then why do your clients value discipline?
I think they value discipline because they know that's the stepping stone to get what they want.
Yep. And then as a community, bro, what do you believe, or why do you believe discipline is important as a community as a whole?
Yep, as a community, I'd say that discipline equals freedom. As soon as we add that, we are free in so many other ways.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. Sweet guys, is that starting to make sense around now with these values? You know, like the way you guys are speaking about this, it's quite emotional. You know, it's going to prompt an emotional response in someone that actually wants this in their life. You know, and this is quite often why it's so difficult for people to stand out on social media, is like they're just posting, you know, hey, here's my top 5 tips on a reverse lunge. It's like, cool. So was everyone else's 5 tips from yesterday, you know? So it's more so, hey, look, you know, I'm extremely authentic because I want people to understand that, hey, look, while exercise and all of this stuff is important, I just want you to know that wherever you are on your journey, you know, I'm going to keep it real with you. I'm going to be authentic so that you can show up as your authentic self as well. Let's get fucking jacked in the process. You know, it's that sort of thing that allows you to stand out. So go through that, guys. And then our final part, it's actually our final part, which is cool. But working through these themes is those 5 things. It's going to take a while to shape and create and craft this. So what I want you guys to do is just take that document. It is going to be a living, breathing document. I've done this a handful of times and it always changes. Like even this morning, I was like, fuck, I can go back and change and craft a lot. Because I guess over time, as you guys understand yourself more, and it's actually really, it comes up. One of the guys that I really like look up to is a guy named Christo, and he posted, "What's the best thing for content?" And he said he's like, "Go to therapy." Go to therapy because you're going to understand yourself more, and the more self-awareness you have around, you know, what really makes you tick, what really makes, you know, your business, why it exists, that's when you're going to start to really relate with people, and that's how you're going to stand out and build something that lasts forever. And so in terms of that, guys, I just want you to take this document, go and spend, you know, a bit of time working through it, craft it, work on it as much as you can, but use it now as a bit of a compass, and that will sort of set you guys up for day one. I'm just going to open it up, guys. I've probably got a few minutes. If anyone has any questions, just raise your hand or drop that. But maybe just also in the chat, did you find this useful or insightful? Just a yes or no in the chat. Yeah, cool. Awesome. Words of affirmation is my love language. So I appreciate that. Cheers, guys. Cool. Awesome. Sweet team. So yeah, clarity is everything. Like literally clarity is everything. I think there's 2 things that breed laziness. One is a lack of clarity and one is a fear, is the fear of like not being good enough or something like that. So anytime you feel lazy, it's either we're not clear and we don't have a defined purpose of needing to actually not be lazy, or it's a fear of like we don't know what to do or we're scared to fail or something like that. So we disguise it as laziness. But now, guys, I'm going to leave it there for today. If you guys have any questions, just shoot me a message on Instagram. Other than that, thanks for your time. Really look forward to day 2 tomorrow, which we have, I believe is, let me look, I'll just check. We are interviewing Shana Lee. Shana Lee's a fucking beast. She's, especially like, I think for a lot of our ladies, like this lady is someone who's been able to build an incredible brand. She sent me a message last night. This was before she joined Mumba. She found a recording. She's like, oh man, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I'm going to do it. And she was like very, very scared because she didn't want to leave her job, all of this sort of thing. Last week, she sent me another message. She's like, holy shit, I think I can actually make $1 million, you know? So from 12 months ago, where she didn't believe this shit was possible, to where she is now is night and day. And I truly believe she's been able to build something that is very, very scalable. She's built a brand that is very incredible as well. And she's one of the hardest workers I know, which is awesome to see as well. So, all right, guys, have a good day. Part 2 of our presentations tomorrow. We're also going to talk about how to speak directly to the person you want to speak to in terms of the branding. So I'll see you guys there. Have a good day. See you guys. Bye.